These are my top 10 ways that you can save money on food costs right now. Hey, welcome back. If you are new here, this is Rouse Rising and my name is Katie. This is a place where I like to share with you all about holistic homemaking, lifestyle, and parenting. I love to share with you ways that you can serve your family in your home and bring joy to your life and joy to the life of those around you. If that is something you are into, please click that subscribe button. I would love to have you stick around and join our Rouse Rising family. It's scary times right now out there with the rising prices of food. The cost of food is just going through the roof every single day. Every time I've gone to the grocery store, I have noticed price increases on things like grains, your milk, your cheeses, your basic food necessities. Those prices are going up right now. In an effort to save money for my family and prepare for the future, I have found many ways to work with the rising costs of groceries, and I want to share that with you today. Now, it's not going to be super easy. It's not go to your pantry, open a box, and dump out some food, heat it up, and eat it. It's not going to be like that. You are going to have to step outside of your comfort zone and start buying foods in bulk form. You're going to need to start buying foods in their whole form in order to save money at the grocery store. You're going to need to start learning how to cook from scratch and really make an effort to make every single meal stretch. And there's lots of ways you can do that. I try to share as much of that on my channel as I can, but to narrow it all down and to give you a clear picture of how you can save money, I'm just going to rattle off these top 10 ways that you can save money and ways that you can work every day to make the most of your food stores. These are my top 10 ways that you can save money on food costs right now. The number one thing that you can do to benefit your family and save money at the grocery store is learn how to make foods from scratch. I can go to the grocery store and I can spend between $6 and $7 for a loaf of sourdough bread. However, if I make that sourdough loaf of bread at home, I can make it for $1.50. That's huge savings right there in the cost of making sourdough bread. I bought a bread machine from a thrift store and I have been able to make my family a daily loaf of bread every single day for about $1.50. This is organic, fresh milled grain that I am using for my bread. My bread only has water, salt, fat, grain, sugar, yeast. Okay, so there's 6 ingredients in my bread that I make here at home. And those 6 ingredients I purchase in bulk, and it helps me get the largest quantity of food for the least amount of money. So my loaves of bread are coming out to around $1, $1.50 a piece per loaf of bread. And that loaf of bread will feed my whole family one solid meal. Sometimes I can stretch it to 2 meals. So I can make sandwiches for everybody with a loaf of bread, peanut butter and jelly, sunflower butter and jelly. I can make French toast. So that's one way. Learning to cook from scratch is going to help you save you a lot of money. The next thing you want to do is meal plan and look ahead. And I admit that this is where I fail the most at saving my family money. I am terrible at meal planning, but my family eats pretty basic meals. We're not foodies by any means. I used to be a foodie where I would explore and make all different kinds of food. I found out that that costs a lot of money to continuously go to the store and buy ingredients for new and exciting foods. And sometimes I wouldn't always use all of those ingredients for that meal, and then I would have leftover, and a lot of times I wouldn't end up using those ingredients. So that was food that would go bad in my refrigerator and that I would waste. So what I've learned to do as far as meal planning is to simplify our meal plan so that we are eating foods that we love and that we are buying foods from the grocery store that we love, that I know that we are going to be able to consume and eat all of that food and not let it go to waste, because we're pretty basic. We're like a meat and potatoes bread type of family. My husband is on a carnivore diet, and the kids and I, we eat pretty freely, but everything that we eat just about is made from home. You will see I occasionally buy frozen pizzas, and I will occasionally buy a frozen pre-made meal from the store. But how I do fast food is right here behind me. I've got all of my nourishing homemade food made from scratch right here on these shelves. If I need a quick and easy meal, I just grab one of these jars off the shelf, heat, and we can eat. And that is how we do fast food in my home. Yes, it does take some pre-planning, but this is a lot more cost effective than buying those pizzas and those pre-made frozen meals. You can also bulk bake your food. You can bulk make your food. If you're gonna make granola, you might as well make enough granola for maybe the whole month. And when you buy that bulk bag of oatmeal, you are gonna be able to make your oatmeal, you're gonna be able to make your muffins, you are gonna be able to make your different kind of oat breads. You can make oat flour, oat milk. There's a lot you can do with oatmeal. So buying a large bulk bag of oatmeal, maybe you're buying a 50-pound bag for $45, depending on whether or not you're getting organic or conventional oatmeal, but that's going to save you so much money because of all the different things that you can make with oatmeal. You can add it to your meatloaf to stretch your meat. You can add it to so many different things, but what we love to do is make homemade granola. We love our homemade oatmeal in the morning, and then I also add oatmeal to my bread. So that's one way that we buy a bulk amount of an ingredient that we know that we're going to be using year round, and that saves me a lot of money. Which in turn, when I bulk buy my food and then I'm able to bulk batch bake my food. The other day I triple batched banana muffins, and we still have banana muffins in our freezer right now. That's really easy for me to grab for snacks or for breakfasts, for whatever we need, something quick and easy. I have all of those muffins in the freezer ready to go, and that's saving me money because when my husband goes to the golf course, I can grab the kids a muffin and their refillable bottle of water, and they're able to run off to the golf course, and they're not going to spend any money on snacks there. They're going to save money. He goes golfing every day, and every day he takes a child with him. So knowing that I have easy to grab food to take with us when we leave the house is one way that my family is able to save money by not going to convenience stores, by not buying expensive snacks when they're out and about. Learning to cook, this is my number 5 way to save money. Learning to cook is going to benefit you so much. Going out to eat is so expensive these days. My husband brought us home some breakfast burritos, and they were about $10 per burrito. So for him and I to have a breakfast today was $20. It's just astronomical, the cost of food these days. But if you learn how to cook, you can make a bulk batch of your breakfast burritos. You can have them all. It will take you 1 hour on a Saturday morning to make 40 breakfast burritos, and then you're set for the month. You have a breakfast burrito every single morning for your breakfast, and you're good to go. That's going to save you money because you can cook a whole bunch of bacon or a whole bunch of sausage, a whole bunch of eggs and cheese, potatoes, whatever you want to put into your burrito. You can do that all at once and then wrap up all those burritos and stick them in the freezer for a rainy day. That's going to save you time because you're not going to have to make breakfast every single morning. That's going to save you money because you're not getting hungry when you're out and about. You have your breakfast burritos. You're good to go. Cleaning supplies. So I know that cleaning supplies doesn't really have to do with food, but you can save so much money on your cleaning supplies. You don't need to buy 50 different types of cleaner for every single surface in your home. You can get by with vinegar and citrus peels. So just save all of the citrus peels from your lemons, your limes, your oranges. Oranges are probably the best. They make the best smelling cleaner as well. The essential oils in oranges really help get rid of dirt and grime and sticky stuff, all those little sticky handprints from your children. So when you make your own cleaners at home, whether it's your own clothes washing detergent, you can make clothes washing detergent in a powder form with a grated bar of soap with some washing soda and a few other ingredients, and that's going to cost you probably under $15 for 3 months supply or longer of laundry detergent. So making your own laundry detergent, making your own white vinegar and citrus orange cleaner so that you can clean every surface in your home, that's going to save you so much money at the grocery store. You can also, as far as cleaning goes, I love to use reusable cloths. We use reusable napkins. I cut them out of old flannel baby blankets, and then I serge around the edges with my sewing machine. I don't have a serger, but I just finagle the settings so that I can serge the edges of my flannel cloth napkins. We have rewashable cloth napkins. You can also get reusable e-cloth. And they make reusable e-cloth for many different surfaces. You have them for stainless steel, you have them for glass, you have them for your countertops, for all sorts of different things. So when you use your reusable e-cloths, you're going to save money on cleaners because you don't need to use cleaners with those specific e-cloths. Those are going to clean your surfaces, and you just throw them in the wash, clean them up, and you'll have them next time you need to clean your home. Another way to save money is to preserve your food and reduce your food waste. So how I do that is if I have a whole lot of carrots in my refrigerator that I know I'm not going to get to use, we're probably not going to eat them in a timely fashion, I will pressure can those carrots and stick them on the shelf, or I will use them and do something like a beef stew back here and put that on the shelf, but I'm sure to use up all of my ingredients. I don't want to let anything go bad in my refrigerator. I can also do things like reuse celery. So you can actually regrow certain things. You can regrow onions, so reusing green onions, you can just clip the tops off. You can put your celery, the end of your celery, in some water and your celery will regrow. I've got some of that going on in my kitchen window right now. So just finding ways to reuse your scraps, whether saving all of your vegetable ends in the freezer in a bag, and then you can make a huge pot of vegetable stock. Don't throw away your vegetable scraps. You know, if you wash your vegetables really well and keep them really clean before you chop them up, then it's no problem for you to save those scraps in a plastic Ziploc bag or in a Tupperware container in your freezer. And then you're able to make a beautiful, wonderful, nourishing vegetable stock for your family. So my number 6 tip is just to reuse your food and use it up as best as you can. Don't throw stuff away. If you have food that's like oranges, I know a lot of times my kids will get sick of oranges and they won't want to eat them anymore. But if I thinly slice my oranges, I can dehydrate them in a dehydrator and they are a yummy, crispy snack. I leave the skin on them and my kids will eat the skin and the pulp and everything from the dehydrated oranges. So that's one way that we make a delicious, yummy snack. When I dehydrated the oranges for my Christmas tree as a decoration, the kids ate all the oranges off the Christmas tree. So I vowed from then on, anytime that our oranges are not getting eaten, I will throw them in the dehydrator and the kids will have a yummy, tasty snack. It's just a little way to twist the food around and make it interesting to them once again, because they get bored of things pretty easily. So preserving food is also one way that you can make your life a little bit more convenient. As you can see on the shelves behind me, I have so much food preserved in these cans. This is going to make it easy for me to put food on the table on busy days, and then we're not tempted to go through the drive-through and get a nasty meal that costs us money. But if I meal prep and I'm able to make 2 trays of lasagna on lasagna night, or make some extra taco meat on taco night, and if I freeze those, then we're gonna have a quick and easy meal on another night. That food is preserved for another day so that I can save time and save money and feed my family in a pinch. Number 9, this is a big one. I still see so many people buying water in water bottles, and cases and cases of water bottles. That costs money. All you need is a really good filter, whether it's a Brita filter, you can get a Berkey water filter. We have had a Berkey water filter for about 8 years, but we actually don't use it in our current home. I save the Berkey water filter for times when we live in cities and the water may be fluoridated, or in times when we don't have the best quality water. We are a military family, so we have moved quite a bit over the years, and so it just depends on our location whether or not I'm going to be using my Berkey. So yes, right now it is stored away for when SHTFS, or what is it called? When it hits the fan. I am actually currently saving my Berkey water filter for the end of days. So I know that we have clean filters. We have a way that we can filter water. There's a lot of people out there that are going to say that Berkey, it's not really a good filter, but it filters good enough. There are probably filters out there that are better. I don't know if it actually gets rid of all the bacteria and all the diseases and germs in water, but hey, if push comes to shove and I need to filter water for my family, I know that I've got my Berkey water filter. We'll give it a shot, we'll boil the water afterwards, and we'll be able to use water. I don't think it's economical for a family of my family size to be buying bottles of water, so we have reusable canteens that we use to refill our water, and we're not using plastic water bottles unless we're on a vacation or out of town or something like that. But we really try to repurpose and reuse our current water bottles as best we can so that we're saving money in that arena. The thing that I really want to stress to everybody as far as saving money is bulk buying and making sure that you are using up all of the food that you have, that you are saving your leftovers. If you make enough to eat one night and you have plenty left over, you can put your food in the freezer immediately. If you put your food in the refrigerator and you're anything like me, a lot of times leftovers will sit in the refrigerator for days until they become questionable. And once they become questionable, me and the family are like, oh, we're not gonna eat that. But if I go ahead and stick the food immediately into the freezer, then I know that it's preserved for that rainy day, for that day when I want a quick lunch for myself or a quick lunch for my husband. So if you are preserving your food in a way, either dehydrating it or canning your leftovers or putting your leftovers in the freezer, that is going to help you save money. Always eat your leftovers. Try not to waste anything. We don't want to throw away our bones. Bones can be used for bone stock. So if you make your family a set of T-bone steaks, cut all the meat off and save those T-bones for a bone broth. When you cook a whole chicken, pull all the meat off and throw that chicken carcass back in the pot for a pot of chicken bone broth. You are going to be amazed at how much you can get out of one chicken, or how much food you can get from your pork chops. Let's say if your pork chops are on bones, you are going to be able to pull the meat off of those bones and then stick those bones in a pot of water and make yourself a delicious, nourishing broth that you can use for your rice, that you can use for a soup. I know my family doesn't like soup that much, so I find that the things that serve my family best are using bone broth for rice, or using bone broth to cook my beans in, that sort of thing. And I think that you will find that using bone broth in a lot of your cooking is going to add a depth of flavor. It's going to add just that homemade goodness that you are going to love, and your family is just really going, yeah, Bodhi loves bone broth. So things like that. You want to be able to stretch your food for as long as you can. So I would love it if you share with me ways that you save money on groceries right now during these times. It's crazy. I know butter went from like $2.50 for a pound up to $6 a pound where I am at. I'm still keeping my eye out for more economical packs of butter. However, lately the store has been sold out of the least expensive butter, I think because right now times are strange. So I want to just encourage you and let you know that you are doing a great job providing for your family. You are doing a great job using your resources to feed your family, and just keep up the hard work. I know that it seems really daunting. How are we going to afford food in the future type of thing? But if you start taking these baby steps now and start looking to the future and ways that you can set aside food for the future, get that extra bag of beans, get that extra bag of rice. Try to find ways. I know that for my family, we had to completely change the way we were eating recently so that we could make it more affordable to feed my family of 7. And one of the things that we had to do was we had to start incorporating beans back into our diet. We hadn't had beans in our diet for about 5 years or so. So when we did have beans, it was very few and far between. But now we are eating beans, I would say up to 2 times a week right now, just so that I can find a way to stretch our food a little bit more. So there's just things that we have to do, some small changes that we have to make in our lifestyle to accommodate the inflation that we are encountering right now. But I just want to let you know that you are doing a great job. You are doing so good. It is stressful, but keep that smile on your face. Keep trying to find ways to save yourself some money, and don't be afraid to stretch yourself and to branch out and look for other ways and other means to source food for your family. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I love having you here with me. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button, give this video a like. That is a thumbs up. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.